The decision by cities like Benicia and Novato follow a massive verdict against agro-chemical giant Monsanto. KPIX 5's Katie Nielsen is live at Pickleweed Park in San Rafael, where they're taking a more natural approach to weed control. Hey, Katie.
Hey, Brian. So this morning, about 20 volunteers spent their time cleaning up around the park. If you take a look back behind me, you can see all of the fresh mulch in the flower beds. It's all part of the city's efforts to stop using chemical weed killers.
Super fun.
5-year-old Julian Chicano is just having fun breaking up mulch at Pickleweed Park.
I always think a lot with this.
But according to the city, the work he and other volunteers are doing is an important part of weed control.
Well, you have enough mulch down, then the weeds aren't able to come up, so it helps reduce the amount of chemicals that you would need to use.
The non-chemical strategies of hand-pulling weeds and laying down mulch are more time-consuming and labor-intensive than spraying the weeds, something the city can't afford to do without help.
Since we're not able to use the chemicals as much as we used to, we're relying on volunteers to kind of help out with that.
One of the chemical weed killers the city of San Rafael is trying not to use anymore is glyphosate. That was the chemical at the center of a landmark verdict against Monsanto, the company that makes Roundup, a popular weed killer. A former Benicia school groundskeeper used Roundup for years, and when he got cancer, he sued the company, saying it didn't disclose the possible health risks of using the product. He won the case and was awarded almost $300 million. Residents in San Rafael say they're willing to put in the work to keep the chemicals out of public spaces.
It takes a little more effort to pull a weed, to put mulch over it, but maybe in the long run, that's the better way to go. Maybe we don't want chemical weed killers around places where people are picnicking and children are playing in the grass.
Susan White walks her dog, Chip, here at the park and said she would worry if the city used chemical weed killers.
Some little dog that would ingest it and maybe, just get sick. And the kids too. I mean, they lick their hands and they're touching flowers. It is scary.
That's why Tom, a retired Angel Island park ranger, says he'll keep coming out to do the work so the city doesn't go back to chemical weed killers.
You can take the ranger out of the park, but you can't take the park out of the ranger.
Now, all that mulch that the city is using, it's actually recycled trees. Tree trimmers from around the area can dump ground up stumps and branches here at the park for free. Then those volunteers are using that mulch to line the flower beds and planters. Live in San Rafael, Katie Nielsen, KPIX 5.
We're hearing more from the Benicia man who won the landmark case against Monsanto. In an interview with CBS News' Anna Werner, Lee Johnson says that he hopes weed killer labels will change in the future.
The label is important because as a pest controller and as those guys out there in professional doing this, in the professional field of applying herbicides, it's a requirement to understand your label and to look at your label. It's very serious. There's a whole chapter on reading the label, how to read it, and what to look for. So if that was on the label, people can make an informed choice.
Monsanto denies any link between the active ingredient in Roundup and cancer. The company plans to appeal the verdict. You can see more of Anna Werner's interview with Johnson this Monday on CBS This Morning.